System is against us. So hi, it's Yaka, Kate from Action Your Accounts, and today I'm bringing you day number 5 out of 100, or live number 5 out of 100. Tune in because I'm gonna be talking about how to get your big paydays, but we started with mindset. Um, so I'm sharing a few bits and bobs about how to get yourself into the right mindset before you put something new into place. So the headache kicked in right now as well. So I'll turn the light off. So hopefully it's right there, and I can shake it off. But bear with me here. So life number 5, I really want to talk about why do you feel stuck? I felt stuck and about a lot of things. But what I've realized is the reason I was feeling stuck is because I didn't have the right tools. I didn't know what's possible. I didn't know how to, I didn't even know what I could want. I think the right word is could, what I could want, what I could have. I didn't know what the possibilities, what the options were. I didn't know what could be possible. Then I started talking to the right people, to the people who made it in their millions, and started following them and start seeing, what nice things they have, what nice places they go to. So that's why I then started to fall as to what I could want, what it is that I would or could want now, knowing what is possible. And then it was just a matter of finding a way how to get to it. But what I found that was definitely very much so against me was, I mean, I had a great dad who taught me a lot about saving money, not necessarily about the managing money. School has totally failed me, and it's failing everybody I've talked to because there is lack of financial education around. There is probably a lot of private financial education, but there is not much that's available at schools, which is shame because I can see it on my 7 and 9-year-old who are eager to spend money, but they don't have the concept of it doesn't come naturally to them. It comes more natural to them to want things, toys here, toys there, trip here, but they don't necessarily have the concept of how to earn that money so they can go. Um, you can see I'm a fidget, all right? In case you haven't noticed, I'm a fidget. So what it is that you could want, think about that first. What it is that somebody you follow has or does that you'd like to have and do. And then you need to figure out how to get to it and what it is you need to help you there. So if I just break it down to the plain basics, to become a parent, okay? It's easy to become a parent. Okay, we don't have to go to the detail of that. But to become a parent, a functional parent is what I had was mother care. Okay, the shop mother care. I think they closed it quite after have spent thousands and thousands of pounds with them. But mother care was absolute godsend. Okay, then mama baby groups, local groups, weighing groups were very, very helpful. I've got no idea where I would have been if I didn't have those two places. Okay. Mother Care was giving me all the tools, the bed, the bedding, the tools, the pushchair, the adjustment for that pushchair, egg, then you've got pram, then you've got, something bigger, all the little adjustments, okay? That's what makes become a parent a lot easier. A lot easier. Things like a bottle, as simple as that. Having loads of bottles for the child, having lots of options where to buy nappies. I became a regular in Lidl and Aldi because they've got the cheapest nappies, and things like that. So to become a parent, there is now a lot of help. To become financially efficient, there isn't a lot of help because people don't talk about it. It's not common to talk about it. You only talk about it when you come to places like this, talking to me. You might talk about it with your parent, with your sorry, with your parents. They should be talking to about it because if they're not, then you're not getting any educational education, any financial education at all because school doesn't cover it. You should definitely be talking to your partner about it. We've just spent good 2 days arguing over what sofa we're gonna get for the outside for garden. Okay, and a lot of it came to how much it is. So guess what? We went for the most expensive one, considering the size and the space that we've got available. But yeah, so those are conversations that are must have. But it comes really difficult to talk about money for some reason. You're not supposed to talk about how much you're earning. You're not supposed to talk about, and it's the same. Don't just think that it's cultural. It's the same whether you're in Czech, whether you're in Poland, whether you're in America, or America is probably more common. Whether you're in England, that's just a topic you don't talk about. You talk about your health. You talk about your birthing experience. You talk about a lot of things, cars. You just don't talk about money. How do you earn it? What it is that you actually do to earn certain money. And if somebody's doing really well, it's suddenly like, oh, let's not talk to them because they're snobbish. They are, those are the sort of messages that you get when you are little. I always thought of rich people or people who go on holidays that they do drugs or they are into guns or they sell themselves or, all sorts of stupid stories now. But now I know it takes a strategy, it takes time, it takes a risk, it takes a lot of falls to then pick yourself up from the fall. So I'm not necessarily diverting on this topic, but it's very important that you allow yourself to reframe it. So who do you want to be when you become successful? When you reach your goal, who do you want to be? Do you want to be friendly? Do you want to be approachable? I do. I'm telling you now what I want to be or who I am already. I'm just gonna not change that or maybe improve it a little bit for when I get to my goal. So I want to go on holidays. I want to, not worry about money when I buy presents for the boys or just general stuff. Go to, you know, I haven't really thought about it actually at the moment. Well, to be honest, we already go to Marks and Spencer's to get their uniforms because it's the quality, it doesn't fade, and it's really good value more for money. I'd rather go to Marks and Spencer's for their uniforms than Asda because Asda rips when you wash it. The seams sort of fall apart. I don't get that with Marks and Spencer clothes. Okay, so we already work shopping in Marks and Spencers for uniforms. I don't have the time to go in the shops, so I shop online. It's either Amazon, Shein, because I know that fits, and the odd time I pop into Sainsbury's. Okay, but it's nothing to do with price. It's what I've learned is I don't want to choose because something is cheaper than something else. I want to be able to choose because it's convenient and because it fits me. It's because I'm happy to shop in Sainsbury's because I know the clothes there fit me. I know it lasts. Um, yes, I've got enough money to pay for it. It's not, overboard. But on the top of that, I just got myself sandals for money that I thought I would never spend on shoes, or at least not sandals. Carmaconi, if anybody has got any Carmaconi shoes. So, those are the sort of things. Or, I'm planning a wedding in July, and there is another one in August. One is in England, one is in Czech. And I always wanted, I had a little list of things that I wanted, and I always wanted things like I'm going on a bit of a tangent, I need to stop. I always wanted Swarovski jewelry, blinky. I always wanted Karmakoni sandals. And there was something else I always wanted. But anyway, I ended up going to a jewelry shop in Padstow, found jewelry I really liked, and that's what I'm gonna wear. So rather than spending hundreds, if not thousands, on jewelry, I've spent close to 50 quid, and I'm gonna wear the jewelry I want. Okay, so it's just about what you want rather than buying something for because of the price tag. But to get to that point, I think you need to unstuck yourself. I'm going back on track. You need to unstuck yourself. Am I recording? Yes. By getting the tools that you need to do your job, to do that, but to achieve that goal, whether it's applying new systems, getting fun stationery. I always say, go out. You need to allow yourself to think. You need to allow yourself to go out, to recharge so you can then go back and refresh. You need to allow yourself to do all of these things. I know it's really hard, especially if you've got a, long to-do list, boom, 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 boom. And then you go, oh, I can't have an hour lunch. I can only afford 5 minutes because I've got all of this to do. But how productive are you having to just do, rather than having some fun as well? I'm definitely more productive when I do a little bit of time away, a little bit of fun time, and then I come back, and it's a lot more productive time, lot better way to spend the time that I need. I then take 20 minutes to do something rather than an hour. Okay? Then I could spend the 40 minutes. If you think about it that way, you can then spend the 40 minutes, go out for a walk, knowing that it will now only take you 20 minutes to do that job. Just saying. Just saying. So why you feel unstuck? I already covered that. I feel that schools are against us, the system is against us. They want us to go to university, they want us to get a great job. But to get to university, that costs a lot of money these days. A lot of money. That you just get yourself into debt. You are at university, you get credit card because suddenly you run out of money. And before you know it, you are 50 grand in debt from university and credit card bills. Okay? Let's not. I'm already teaching my boys to potentially have a think how they can earn money. So I'm not saying I don't want them to go to university, but at the same time, I want them to make an educated decision that it's not expected of them to go to university. They can go an apprentice, or they can by then start their own business and earn enough to do that. Okay, so you're not stuck, you just don't have the right systems. So get the right systems. In my old job, I was doing like social media stuff, but then I was given a little dinky Samsung mobile phone that was totally useless for what I needed to do. And it was just really hard to do my job with that. Now I've got Google Pixel, it's mine, and it does exactly what I needed to do. It makes life so much easier, so much easily. So you need the right system, the right tools, okay? Most people think that they are bad with money. You're not necessarily bad with money. You've just not been educated how to manage your money and how to kind of be wise with money. And that's what I'm here for. That's exactly what I'm here for. Right. Actually, you've just not been shown a simple enough system to follow. You probably have lots of systems by now, depending on how old you are. If you're only just starting, if you're only watching this, and you are, say, I don't know, fresh from A levels, then you probably don't have any systems. If you are in your 40s, have a job, you probably have a system, but if it's working for you, amazing. Yeah, share how you do it, share how you manage your cash, because I could be able to either apply it in my current ways, or listeners could use it in their ways, or share. Feel free to share. Whether you want to do it in DMs and then I spread it anonymously, more than happy to do that. Or you might be in your 40s and be deep, neck deep in debt. You could have your own business and have lots of HMRC debt. That's more common than you think. But it doesn't need to be that way. Doesn't need to be that way. You just need to talk to the right people, do the right reading, do the right research to get your money to where you want to be, so you're at your peak of your performance. It's not you who's the problem, it's the structure. Okay, it's the system that's around you. School, like I said, school totally fail us. So over the next 100 days, we're gonna fix it. I'm gonna plant so many seeds that you're gonna wake up or you're gonna go to bed thinking of money. You're gonna wake up talking about money. And then by the following evening, you'll be applying things. You'll be changing your ways, how you deal with money. I can guarantee that already. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna talk about my money story. I already shared a lot of it, but it will be quite interesting for me to share something, so you know roughly why not that why you should be listening to me, but I'm gonna show you where I was, where I am, where I want to be, and how I got there, how I got to where I am now, and why I've got so much to share. I'll talk to you then. Bye.